All right, welcome. I just realized my little setup here is very wobbly, which is probably not going to work. What's happening right now? Or whatever. Can I fix that? Probably not easily. Oh, Hendo's here. Oh no. Okay, wait. I've got a conundrum. I'll see what Hendo thinks. Hendo,
What's going on?
I've got a conundrum.
Okay.
So I've just put this computer on this little basket here, and can you see that?
Yes. It's
doing
kind
that.
of moving like I'm getting fucking seasick.
Yeah. So either I can just leave it balanced, or the only thing within my reach to fix it is a Lexicon half coaster, which I would have to bend in half and destroy for the purpose of one episode of the podcast.
I don't think Paul would mind.
Do you think he'll know?
Nah. Oh, he'll know because he listens to the show. But I don't think he'll mind.
Should we just bet that he's not going to listen to this episode?
Okay. Paul, if you've listened to this episode, post in the Facebook group that you've listened to the episode and tell us your opinion of Dan using the Lexicon half coaster to stabilize his laptop so that I don't get seasick.
There's got to be a better way. Wait, talk amongst yourselves. I'm not down for that.
Oh my God, that's so fucking crazy right now.
Okay, wait. Don't worry. I found one of my books written in a language that I don't know what it is, so I'm going to rip this up and use it.
Rightio.
There you go.
What's it called? ACE is that Rashpunch tool? Is that Turkish or something?
I don't know, dude.
Which book is it?
I don't even know that. It's got my name on it though.
Are you going to write another book?
No, not unless I've got something interesting to write about.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. What about you?
Am I going to write a book?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's much easier than you might think. You've got a lot of knowledge, Hendo.
Yeah, I'd love to write a book. I can just talk to the computer and
yeah.
Well,
if you need any help on sort of like working out how to do all the Amazon stuff and formatting and all that kind of stuff, I can help with all that. Easy peasy.
Yeah, awesome. One of my mates who I used to go to university with back in the early 90s, he actually is a graphic designer that specializes in book covers.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Probably going to be out of a job soon.
Why?
AI.
Oh, with all that AI and shit. True. Have you got a beer?
Yeah, I do. I went up to the shop and I bought special little bevy here. This is a
Green Beacon Windjammer IPA.
Yeah, this is a brewery that brews their beer out of Brisbane in a brewery set up in Geebung, that you might have heard of.
It's not going to be there anymore.
Well, I'm enjoying what might be the last one.
It may well be the last one. That's pretty sad.
Fuck, she's a bit low. Jesus.
Underfill.
That's about 15 mil from the top.
Is that right?
I mean, it could be.
Is it taste oxidized? I've got a beer.
I checked the date. It's pretty fresh. Yeah. 22nd of December.
I've got a beer to celebrate the Grand Prix.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Heineken Zero?
No.
Is it a Daniel Ricciardo ale or whatever he's doing?
No, it's a beer that celebrates one of my favorite drivers.
Oh, nice. Valtteri Bottas. I like that. Very good.
A VB.
Wait, let me do a screenshot. Oh, no, actually, no, do this one because this is the I'll do yours and I'll do mine. Oh, wait. There we go. And then you do this one.
Hang on. Okay. Make like you that's such a cheesy grin. It's like so unnatural. I just captured the perfect moment.
Did you get it?
Oh, you look so sweet. Send this to your missus, mate.
Dude, this was like one of my favorite beers back in the day. Like probably, oh, it smells so oxidized. I mean, it is 3 months old, but it was one of the fresher beers they had at BWS.
Oh dear. You ever get in those situations where life is just absolutely fucking crazy. Crazy busy, crazy, just lots of stupid shit happening.
Not at the moment.
But you're having a ball. That's me at the moment. Just getting
That's
ready
good.
to go to the Grand Prix and Alice Springs last week and all that sort of stuff. So
That's good.
amazing.
So are you excited about the Grand Prix?
Oath, I'm excited.
Did you see
I can barely
Red
contain
Bull,
myself.
the Red Bull video they did for it, like to promote it? Pretty sick.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be amazing. Like this is I bought my as you know, I'd fucking dropped $3,000 on a ticket. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I maximize the most out of it, mate.
You might actually see a lot of Daniel Ricciardo because he's going to be in the crowd, isn't he?
Well, exactly. Yeah. No, the behind the stand where we're sitting is the fan zone.
Nice.
So I hope to be able to see him and that sort of thing. What should I say to him?
Just tell him he's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
And
tell him, Dan Norris says you're a fucking legend.
100%. And tell him no matter what shitty car he gets offered to drive next year, just take it. Because I want to see him driving. I want to watch a race knowing that he's driving, even if it's going to be a disaster.
My prediction.
Go on.
Get Checo's seat.
Checo just won. He's leading the championship. He would be if Max didn't fuck him over.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. Long season to go.
It is a long season. I don't think he's going to get Checo's seat.
You reckon?
Do you want to make that an over-under?
Yeah. Shit, yeah.
Okay. So when by the end of the season, or
I would be prepared to go. Danny Rick gets Checo's seat after Checo is no longer with Red Bull.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they're the same age, aren't they?
They are the same age, and we're only like two races in. Third race this weekend.
So you're not saying by the end of this year. You're saying it could be 5 years' time.
I'd strongly consider a 2024 seat for Danny Rick in a Red Bull.
Are you prepared to make the bet or not? 2024?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, right. Let's do it. I might be dead wrong. Let's give it a red hot go.
I mean, I love the prediction. It's not going to happen. Checo's good, man. He held off Max last race.
Yeah. How fast is Max, though? He's so fast.
Wasn't fast enough to catch Checo.
He come from, what, 12th or something? He started, wasn't it?
I think it was 15th, but he came...
15th, yeah.
He got to within 5 seconds of Perez with about 20 laps to go, 15 laps to go, and he wasn't gaining on him at all.
Mm.
It's sort of weird. Did you see the Jeremy Clarkson quote? He's like, it's F1 is like watching people run 100-meter sprint while trying to preserve their shoes, or something like that.
That's pretty fair.
It is fair.
It's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped though for Melbourne. I'm really looking forward to staying with some good friends down there because I don't have money for anything else. And friends I haven't seen in ages, and going to get down to Brownstone as well. Go see the little brewery that I run down in Dandenong, and apparently we just revised the recipe for the pale ale down there, and both Chelsea the brewer and Daniel the hotel manager have said this batch is mint.
Nice.
And we're putting it into the RBAs.
Solid.
So fucking watch out.
Very good. Might be back on the stage.
No, I would never. No, I wouldn't. No, not for Brownstone. No, that would be Chelsea's. I can't. That's no. I would never steal her thunder.
Oh, you know, we never talked about the last F1 race. We just got off the topic, but we had the thing for driver of the day.
Yes.
So that wasn't over and under.
Okay.
It was
basically. Who was the driver of the day?
It was from 2 weeks ago. So it was like no one chose Max. I chose Alonso. You chose Gasly. Neither of them won. I think Max got driver of the day, even though he came second. But just to wrap that up, in case people are wondering, no one wins.
Should we go? Who would be driver of the day this weekend?
I mean, is it who will be driver of the day if they're not Max Verstappen, or like will you actually choose someone else?
I won't choose Max for the
Well, I'll just choose Max.
driver of the day.
I'll choose Max then.
Oh, you're going to choose Max. Oh,
100%.
okay. All right.
Who do you choose?
Well, I am going to choose. I'm going to choose Bottas. I'm drinking.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
You don't have to win to be driver of the day, you know.
Well, Max didn't win. He still got it. He came second.
Yeah. Because the reason why he won is because he came from 15th and got to fucking second.
Right. I mean, to win drive of the day, you either have to win, or you have
to do
to
really well,
outperform your teammate significantly.
And also, don't forget, I know, and very close second for my driver of the day would be Alex Albon.
Yeah.
Because he picked up 10 places last year in Melbourne. He's very good at driving the circuit. Very good at driving the circuit.
Choose him. How about this? If either of those win, I'll give it to you. I'll give you two votes. And I'll
two drivers for one Max. I think that's actually pretty fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I feel bad taking this from you.
Like candy from a baby.
All right.
Oh, dear.
All right, let's get on to the news. So Asahi to close Green Beacon Production Brewery, which is why we're pouring one out here. The old, unfortunately, slightly oxidized beer, but it's a great.
What a week brewery. For fucking the major brewers with Tiny Mountain getting closed and Green Beacon closing their production brewery. Look, I read the article. It makes sense why they're closing it, right? Because their volumes are growing. It's you know, when you're a big mega brewer like Asahi, there's really no point in expanding another brewery and having another brewery to manage. Might have been related to old Johan pulling the pin a few weeks ago, and
that would have
that sort of thing.
Been. I feel like the decision would have been made well in advance of that, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure. And so I think
maybe it's the other way around. Maybe he knew it was coming, and
no, they would have found, if they were going to keep it, they would have found someone within the group to run that brewery. Yeah. But I just don't think it makes sense for them.
It doesn't make sense. But it doesn't make sense for them to own any production brewery. Like it doesn't make sense for Lion to build the Stone and Wood brewery that was promised in Murbo. It doesn't make sense. They've already got a massive production facility. Why would they build?
That's right. Well, and you know, and when you're Asahi, it's easier to manage the quality across brands when you have fewer breweries
100%.
making the beers.
When you're anyone, it's easier to do.
So if they're going to make the beers down in Pirate Life or Four Pines and that sort of thing, as they're doing, great. I think you'll see the Green Beacon beers get better.
It's not great though, is it, Hendo? Come on.
Oh, look, it's a bit shit. I hope people don't lose their fucking job over it. But Asahi being Asahi, they would at least give people the opportunity to relocate within the group. You know,
they mentioned that. Don't mention that.
What did it say? I didn't read that part. What did it say?
Yeah, I mentioned that they'll be given an opportunity to get jobs elsewhere in Asahi. But I mean, people who signed up to work for, you know, a small growing brewery in Brisbane at the start of the craft. I guess it's been 10 years since they started, but like people who signed up to work in that industry surely are not that excited about, you know, going and working in a massive production brewery in Asahi. I don't know. I don't know the employees there. But.
I think there's some great opportunities. No, not at all. Man, if I was like one of those brewery floor workers and that sort of thing, I'd be going, opportunity knocks, man.
Yeah. But you don't think it's a shame that these big companies buy these breweries and shut them down? Because that's what they do.
I'm not surprised.
Do you think it'd be a shame if they did it in Murbo?
To shut down Stone and Wood?
Or not build the
big brewery down there.
I mean, Murbo's a capacity. Why does it make sense for that brewery to exist?
like the Moolumbar Brewery. Is it capacity? No, it's not.
Well, why are they brewing pack ale down in Geelong or wherever they're brewing it?
Because the volumes are growing, and I would say it's a stopgap measure. Man, there is a bucket load of capacity for pack ale at
If
Mobile.
there was that much capacity there, they wouldn't have said 2 years ago they're going to build another one.
Yeah, but that's before the buyout, though.
Yeah, but it was promised as part of the buy. The point is, it makes sense for these smaller companies to grow because they have to produce the beer.
Yes.
And that's exciting, and that's great for the industry and the local business and all the rest. But when a big company buys it, it doesn't make sense for them to own any brewery other than the massive production breweries they already own.
Yes, of course.
And that's a shame.
But that said, though, right, is that there's probably an immediate need for lots of pack ale, which is probably explains why it's being brewed down in at Little Creatures or wherever I would imagine it's going to be. There is still plenty of capacity at Murbar. I can tell you that.
If there's plenty of capacity there, for the last few years we've been talking about them building another much bigger brewery?
Because they bought the land.
They
actually, that was part of the asset. They actually own the land in that same industrial estate. It's not like it's like they're leasing a building. They fucking own the land. It's very smart of Jamie Cook to go and to sort of go and go, you know what? We're going to hedge and buy this land. And that was a big part of the asset because that land would be worth a fortune now.
Yeah, but we're not talking about property development. We're talking about building breweries.
It's part of the picture. When you're a big brewery like Lion, it's certainly part of the picture because then you go, okay, well, do we go develop this land and go and turn it into a bigger production brewery? Do we outsource some of the production or do we just close down Murbar? I don't see Lion closing down Murbar.
No.
You
think they'll build a new one?
Not sure about that, but I would say that there is capacity at the current site for significant amount of growth, right? Because the really big, tall 800 hectoliter tanks that are outside. Still, only 2 of them. I haven't been there in a while, but when was the last time you were at Murbar?
Oh, ages and ages ago. I don't think they even had 800s when I was there. They had 400s, I think, in the
400s. Yeah, they've got about
30
something, 20 something, 24 400s, but they've only got 2 800s.
Are the 400s outside or inside?
No, they're inside. It's only 2 800s that you can see from outside.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen those. I've seen the inside, but they're kind of under like a.
They're under a cover and that sort of thing. They used to be outside when they first commissioned, but there's actually room for 800 hect tanks there.
Yeah, but does it make sense to put 8 more tanks there, or does it make sense if they're going to brew it down south?
They don't have to be 800s, right? They could be 1600s.
So your prediction is that they're going to expand Murbar, not build a new brewery. This could be an over/under.
It's a bit of both, I think.
Okay, all right.
I think they'll do a bit of both.
All right.
I don't see Lion shutting it down. That's the thing that I'd probably be prepared to take an over/under on. I don't think Lion will shut down Murbar in the next 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Maybe later. It's got a finite lifespan. That's true.
I'll take that bet. But
it's a long over/under.
Much more likely that I'm going to shut the podcast down within the next 3 years.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, dear.
All right.
Such
all right, Jim's. Wait, can you? So for this Jim's mowing one, have you watched this video?
No, I have not.
Before you watch it,
going to, yes.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say what you're going to say. So if we share the video, we'll get in trouble, but we can listen to the audio, right?
No.
No.
So what you've got to do in order to not get copyright struck, you need to make sure that in your recording that our faces are visible because we can show a react video.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, good. So you can hear the audio, but we can't show the video.
No. You can show the video, but you have to show our face on the screen at the same time reacting to it, and we have to talk about it.
Oh, okay. So if you share your screen, that's not going to work, right?
Well, it's all you're the one who's recording, right? So so you should probably share your screen and play the video and make sure that you have, how you have a little pop-up window with us in it.
Mhm.
that you're dragged. You share the full screen. That window with us on it is dragged over so that it overlays the video so we can see both of our faces.
But
And
I
then you're
want
going
you
to
to
have to then.
Jesus Christ. All
I
right.
will see it. You're going to share your screen.
Let's just see what's going to happen.
And don't forget to share sound.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Let's see. We'll do the old. Okay. I don't even fucking hell. I don't even know how to share my screen. Share screen. So do I have to do an audio thing for that? Multiple participants. Okay. Advanced sharing options. Okay. Don't need that. So if I share screen.
Yeah.
And I'll do the desktop, right?
Yes.
And just show. Wait, you tell me what you can see. Oh,
Yeah.
we're off the side.
I can see
anyway.
it. I can see the page. Yeah, there you go. Have you shared sound?
How do I share sound?
Well, when you just play the video, and if I can see, this is good. Can you see our faces on the?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's good.
Can you hear that?
I can only hear it on your laptop speakers.
Yeah. So how
So
do you
stop sharing.
This is the worst audio experience.
Right. Hit
ever.
share again. And there should be a little tick box when you share screen.
Oh,
that says share audio.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. We're winning.
So you can show the web page as long as we're on the screen. We're good.
Wow.
Okay, go.
Winner. Right,
Go.
I'm going to restart that. I'm going to restart that little video.
Okay.
Then
Are we on the screen?
well, stop share. There we go. All right. How the fuck do I know? I mean, I can see it, but I can see
Hit
us.
play.
Good to go?
Yeah.
Stoush has seen the
There we go,
largest
good.
Australian-owned brewery
All right, and we've got to
take on
talk over it
Jim's
as well.
mowing, and
Well,
it's
you can.
not
I've seen
for
it. You
unkept
talk over it.
lawns. CEO Jim Penman crafted his own lager last year, but now Coopers is threatening legal action, claiming
That's
this
right.
design was ripped off.
Is it?
How's
She's still
the
going.
face of Australia's
Like
largest
900.
mowing franchise.
Jimbo's.
Now that iconic face is
Jim's
on
Brewing.
here.
It looks like a Cooper's tin.
Jim's mowing, beer, it fits pretty well together. A lot of our guys drink beer.
It's
too,
his
so,
brand colour,
yeah,
but
why
it
not?
looks like
With
his
a vision
fucking.
in mind, Jim reached out
it looks
to
like Cooper's
Sydney
beer.
microbrewers
It does a little
Bondi
bit, yeah.
Brewing.
I mean,
Look, it's a
it does
couple
look
of guys in
exactly
the
like
shed in
Oh,
Bondi.
Bondi
It's a real
Brewing, I
Aussie
know,
battler
Paul.
company. We just like it. It's very Australian.
And Jim's mowing lawn lager was crafted. Said
Is it
to
a small
be
Should have
can?
done it in
It's very
high
small,
vis.
isn't it?
drop
You should have
after
done the
a hard
can in high
day
vis.
of cutting grass.
Oh,
I really like one, but a craft beer, not a mass-produced one. So apparently, from what I've been
There you
told, I
go.
don't drink myself, but it's a good taste.
Yeah, that
But
doesn't
Jim's
drink beer.
newest
Do you say he
business
doesn't drink?
venture has
The guy
Doesn't
mows
drink beer.
lawns
Doesn't
for a
replace
fucking
it.
living.
Australian brewing giant Coopers.
Fucking
It claims
hell.
he has ripped off its design from the
pretty
original
close.
pale ale.
I mean, the logo itself actually probably took about 10 minutes to design in the
This
first
bit's
place.
good,
So
though.
we don't spend a lot of money on that sort of thing in gyms. We just put something together. Yeah, it looks all right.
In a legal letter, Coopers say it
Wow.
has concerns relating to the labelling due to its substantial similarity.
Black lid.
I think it's about the most distinctive beer can in the country. I can't
think it's a
honestly think you could make a case that this could be anything else but Jim's, that you couldn't mistake this for Cooper's.
It seems the brewers may have found a compromise, with Coopers now changing its tune. In a statement, the brewers said after confidential discussions with Bondi Brewing, as long as Jim's Lawn Lager remains a limited release, it's happy to coexist. But Jim's
This is the best
not
bit.
going
Fair enough.
down without a fight.
It's honestly a ridiculous case. So I think if there's more demand, we'll make more.
Geordie Wright for 10 News First.
All right, I've got the fucking plan. Right? Do you remember that the old? I think it was on YouTube like 10 years ago. Oh no, MTV, where they had like the two celebrities fighting. It was like stop motion. Fucking what was the name of that show?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It was Celebrity Deathmatch.
Okay, yeah.
We need a Jim Penman and Dr. Tim Cooper celebrity fucking deathmatch. I'd pay-per-view that shit.
That'd be fun.
Like and then fucking Jim Penman gets a fucking lawnmower out and just like lawn mows fucking Dr. Tim's face and like
Wow.
out of like have you seen like the some of Peter Jackson's early movies?
No,
Like Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson?
no, I have not.
Fuck,
I've
really?
seen Lord of the Rings and one.
Have you not seen some of the work that he's done before that?
No.
There's some of the best movies you could ever watch.
Well, that makes sense. How do you get the gig?
So some of the films you need to watch is Meet the Feebles.
Too old.
What do you mean?
Well, how old is it?
Not as old as you, right?
Well, if it's more than
And
15 years
also
old, I'm
Brain
not watching
Dead
it.
and Brain Dead.
Okay.
And Brain Dead was amazing. It's just like spatter movie, old school, and it's just ridiculous fun. And they used to play it. There's some cinema over at Wollongabba. They used to play it when I was at uni in the early 90s. Fuck off, Dan. And they used to do the midnight screening every night. And there's a scene where they're having dinner and they're eating custard and body parts are falling in the custard because there's zombies and shit.
Okay.
And a mate of mine used to love going and watching the midnight screening of it, and he would take a carton of custard and he would always open it during that scene.
Was the carton of custard green with a circle with some guy's face on it? Or... Right, we're getting extremely off track.
You need to watch that film.
I'll watch these stupid old movies. I will.
Some of Peter Jackson's finest cinema.
Movie, definitely.
Fuck the Lord of the Rings director's cut trilogy. Fucking 12 hours of your life you don't get back.
Funnily enough, I saw a TikTok today with the actor who played Saruman. He's like, who was cut out of the last movie, and he's like, you have to get the director's cut to watch his performance in the last movie. It's totally random you brought that up.
This is why I couldn't watch fucking Lord of the Rings. It made no sense to me. Didn't read the books when I was a kid. Don't get into fantasy. I tried to watch it, and when I watched it, I couldn't tell the difference between Saruman and Gandalf.
Saruman.
They look like the same character. They look like the same character.
Yeah, but the voice, dude. Saruman. That's not very good.
And Saruman and Gandalf look the same.
Since we're talking
maybe
about
that's
TikTok,
racist. I don't know, but
no, they're both white, aren't they? It's Christopher Lee and it's that other dude who plays.
They wear the same hat.
I don't know. They wear the same. They've got beards, whatever.
Weird, same hat.
Since we're talking about TikTok, have you seen the TikTok of the chick who just like randomly discovered that she can sound exactly like news reporters? This video reminded me of that so much. Like, she talks exactly like that. She just does random stories pretending like she's a news reporter, but she's not. She's just some random lady.
All right. I will not put TikTok on my phone at all.
Yeah. I'm getting spied on right now.
It's fucked.
Anyway, the award for going the most off track goes to you. So do you want to tell me what you think about this issue or not?
I think that it's funny.
It is funny.
And
don't you think it seems
maybe,
like just a legend?
Yeah, Jim Penman is a fucking boss. Have you seen how he runs his business? If you have a bad experience lawn mowing, right, you can email Jim at Jim's Mowing and he writes back to you. Maybe it's one of his offsiders or something like that, but it comes from his email address and he actually gives a shit about his business and stuff like that and fixes
Jim
stuff.
is very close to Tim, isn't it? Do you think Tim Cooper and Jim
versus Tim
are the same person with a different mask, like face off?
Like Saruman and fucking Gandalf.
Oh my God, the callbacks in this episode are next level, and we're getting good at this. All right, I'm gonna let you finish. What do you think about this?
Okay.
They ripped them off.
No, not at all. And like you can't copyright the color green, and it's clearly a different color green, right?
Can I ask you this?
What?
If you're going to make a beer for a mowing business, wait, are you drinking a Jim's Mowing beer right there? That's a Cooper's.
That's fucking BB. It's a
Cooper's right there.
Well, that's right. You can't copyright green.
Green's got a circle on it. No, if you had the job to design a beer, right, for Jim's Mowing,
yes, it would look like that.
What color would you make it?
It's this brand color. What color are all the fucking trailers that you see? Jim's Mowing trailers and stuff like that. It's not a fucking. And it's a lawnmower beer. It's a mid-strength lager.
Glass?
It's not
Green.
fucking Jim's Antennas, which is fucking red. It's not Jim's Pools, which is blue. No. It's a Jim's lawn mowing beer for mowing the fucking lawn. So it's green.
Okay.
End of story.
Do you think it's a bit like Cooper's just going to look a bit douchey by doing that? And they should have just left it alone because it's not a real threat, is it?
I think that's probably what happened. That's probably why they went, well, as long as it's a limited release, it's all right.
And then he's like, fuck you anyway. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Dr. Tim, he's pretty fucking well to do, and I bet you I know who mows his lawns.
His personal email. Whoever's answering his email, probably.
No. Dr. Tim doesn't mow his own lawns. He gets fucking Jim Penman in to fucking do it.
You know, he gets this guy on TikTok. I got to share all these TikTok people on this episode. I will. I'll find them. No, I won't. That's too much work. I'm not going to do that. I follow a guy who mows lawns. And like every Friday, he goes around and does like a free lawn mow for some house that just looked like a shit show.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying. Does the edges and everything. He mows them twice. He does like these amazing edges. He tries out new equipment. Lawn mowing TikTok is legit.
How do you get into this shit? You go down a TikTok hole or something?
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. You just get on there and scroll. It's like drugs. I wouldn't know, but I imagine that's what it's addictive, like drugs. Are drugs addictive? It's not drug advice. Right, Hendo, tell me about your nuts.
Oh shit, yeah.
Tell me about these nuts.
This is dead set. Some of the I just can't believe I'm going to tell you this. So I'm getting on, and
oh Jesus, is this going to be one of those like Ricky Gervais pendulous type situations?
You got to get them checked occasionally, and so that's what happened this week. So
oh wow, you have been busy.
Yeah, of course. That's why life's fucking crazy, mate. But just routine checkup. It's all good. Everything's fine. And so anyway, this is
what
the biggest fucking.
Because I'm not that proactive with my health. Like what kind of things get inserted into different places?
Nothing gets inserted. It's a fucking ultrasound.
So they don't grab any balls or anything.
Yes, no. But you have some fucking random bloke ultrasound your nuts. You should. All guys should do it. Men should do it.
So you're fully clothed, or what's happening?
No, of course not. There's a fucking ultrasound gun on your nuts.
I don't know.
And there's
like the lube, how it works. Don't make me ask any more questions. Just explain exactly what happens.
It's like they have, ultrasound. Like they do ultrasound of babies and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, from the babies. Yeah.
Well, they can rewind time and they can ultrasound babies before they're actual babies.
Oh wow, I see what you do. But what comes to mind, because I remember when they ultrasound the babies, they like lube up the thing and lube up.
That's what. Yes.
First
Yep. So, yep. Just imagine that on your nuts.
They do that to you.
Yep. 100%.
They lube up your nuts.
They lube up the gun.
What gun? Your gun?
No, the ultrasound gun. The thing that they do the fucking ultrasound with. You've seen people get an ultrasound before?
Not of that cock.
No, but it's the same as what they do when they ultrasound fetuses and stuff.
This is probably the worst episode we've ever done, second to the field trip one. This can't be saved.
It's just health. It's like, yeah, all right. So I had an ultrasound of my nuts. Everyone should do it. Brilliant. Testicular cancer is no joke. I don't have testicular cancer, but
that's good.
It's good to hear. You just should get a checkup. It's like a checkup.
When I brought this up, this is not what I meant. Do you read the show notes?
No. Oh, yes. Oh, the free nuts thing. Yes.
Yeah.
I just laughed at it because I thought it was just funny because I thought you knew what I'd been through this week, and I was like,
of course not. Why would I know that?
No, I know. Well, now you do. So
I do now, and so does fucking 12 other people. Okay, tell me more about your bar and your nuts.
So, all right, this is the big actual nuts that come from a tree. This is some of the biggest news, I think, to hit the brewing industry in Australia in a decade.
Wow.
That's how strongly I feel about it, right? So basically, the story is that if you are a professional brewer, you're going to probably follow a Facebook group, usually Milk the Forklift or something like that, or you're going to follow Wort Wrangler or Grist and Glory, and they're just memes for pro brewers and that sort of thing, and they're a lot of fun. But the ongoing sort of theme, the occasional post that you see is brewers ripping open a pallet of a pallet of malt and that sort of thing, and they reach down the middle between the bags and they bring out these salted nut rolls, right, which is some American fucking candy or something like that they have, right, which they look fucking delicious. So basically it looks like it's butterscotch and peanuts. They look amazing, unless you're like got anaphylactic or some shit like that, and then they're not fun at all.
That was one of my questions. Yes, but let's
Yeah.
get to that.
And so for years, brewers that have been outside of the US have never had to experience the joy of getting a ton of malt delivered and having a food gift, right? Because you think about it, right? Brewers work fucking hard all day and it's very physical. And what you need is a snack. And there's your salted nut roll and there's a snack. Now, where the salted nut rolls come from is from BSG, which stands for Brewers Supply Group. They're basically they supply malt and hops and yeast and all that sort of stuff. That they supply, salts and enzymes and all sorts of that stuff. They supply brewing raw materials to the industry. Okay, and so a few years ago, BSG bought a rather large holding of Bintani, which is the company here in Australia that does the same thing. They supply the molten hops and yeast and all that sort of thing, right? And so what Bintani have announced this week is they have announced that they're taking on what their parent company does, and they're supplying nut bars to brewers when you go and buy a ton of malt, which I think is fucking rad. And so what they've done here is they've Australianized it.
They've reimagined, apparently.
They've reimagined it. So basically, they have teamed up with Carmen's, and if you go to the supermarket, I eat Carmen's. I have them in my cupboard, actually. I eat Carmen's muesli bars and all that, nut bars and all that sort of stuff. And so Carmen's nut bars you can now get with your ton of delicious Wyman Pilsner malt.
Nice.
And which I think is just so cool. And I think it's a really neat way to reward brewers for their hard work. And it's big news, and I'm a fan. So if you are a brewer and you're listening to this podcast, let's see some photos of some of these nut bars, these Carmen's nut bars in the wild. So if you get a ton of malt and you get a roasted nut bar from Carmen's in your Bintani pallet of malt, post a photo. I want to see it.
See, I think that's all great, but I don't think they've reimagined anything. I think they've just copied it and chosen a different brand. But if they had have renamed it BSD's, then it could be BSD's nuts.
What?
That's reimagining, Hendo, okay?
Okay. I think this is great because they're Australian made. They're Australian made, and I can see the picture there, and they're gluten free as well.
Oh,
but not anaphylactic, but it's a source of protein.
It's not good for the millennials.
So super, super awesome initiative from Bintani to go and do that, and props to them. And yeah, I love it.
Nice. All right.
You know what they need to do though, because at Christmas, with the BSG shipments, the mob that makes salted nut rolls, they do one that weighs a pound. You imagine like a giant nut roll that weighs a pound. Should I just show you a picture?
You have to pound these nuts if that happened.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Here, let me show you the picture. Have a look at this. No, before you move on, let me show you the picture.
Okay, go.
Right. Look at this. Right, that's what it looks like. Salted nut roll, and you get is that marshmallow in the middle of it? That doesn't look healthy at all.
Well, it's not supposed to be healthy, is it? What? So that's wow, salted nut roll. That looks fucking delicious.
Who's that? Pearson's salted nut roll.
Americans know how to live, hey?
Yeah, you're not going to live that long. You eat that shit. Is that marshmallow in it?
Fucking get it.
What is in there?
How good.
Pearson's candy.
You can make these things. I might have a crack at making these things.
Oh, that's a fucking great idea. Stick it in a pellet. Protein.
Protein packed.
What's in it?
These nuts.
Got fluffy nougat in the middle.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm not going to make any jokes about that. All right.
Look at that shit. That's
all right.
Amazing.
Let's get some of those. All right. So next on the agenda here. Oh, we skipped this. So our little content experiment needs to start today. Okay?
Yeah, cool.
So
What
our
does that mean?
experiment is we're using ChatGPT to amplify our content.
Great. It's going to talk about my nuts.
Pretty much. I mean, there's been some quality stuff said this
Nuts.
episode,
Yeah.
hasn't there?
Awesome.
This is not testicular cancer advice. TikTok would probably do well with that kind of stuff. Mental health and stuff. Male health.
Yeah, you should have good ball health. That's fucking super important.
Anyway, the deal is we calculated a metric for our reach, and it was about 1,000 per week. Hendo thinks after we do all this AI shit, we'll get to over 3,000. So Hendo's taking the over. By default, I take the under.
Under, yep.
So tomorrow, I'm going to take our episode. Well, maybe tonight. I'll send it to you because you got Descript, right? You have to pay for that? I don't know.
I can transcribe it, yes, poorly.
Transcribe it. That's the first step. And then I'll do the other shit it said in that post.
If you send me the video file, I can transcribe. Actually, I won't be able to do it until I get back because I'm on a plane at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Send me a login. Is it free?
No.
How much does Descript cost?
$30 a month.
Do it tonight. I'll send it to you tonight.
It takes it. So what? Okay. So I can if you send me the video, I can bung it in there, transcribe it, export the text, and send that to you. It'll have spelling mistakes and shit.
Yeah.
And ums and ahs and everything.
I'll get ChatGPT to fix it because that was part of the process.
Can it do that?
Well, let's find out. That's why it's an experiment.
Okay, well, send me the video file. I can do that.
All right. Okay, we'll come back to... now, did you see... This is not really news, but did you see that both Brewdog... I thought it was just an interesting thing. I put my own little post in here because in December last year, I wrote a post about how to design beer cans using AI, right?
Yep.
Today, Dainton and Brewdog both announced AI beers. So Dainton have made one, and Brewdog, I just noticed on his LinkedIn, he said, should we make this? And it's a beer where the name and the description and the idea. Oh, I just linked to his thing. I didn't link to the actual post. I'll have to fix
AI-generated IPA.
Oh, no, there you go. Yeah, I'm just not logged in. And Dainton have done the same thing.
So
beer name.
AI came up with ChatGPT came up with the recipe and Midjourney designed the label.
Yeah. Hey, actually, you know what would be cool? I've got a good AI test for you. I did a experiment yesterday where I asked GPT-4 for.
Have you got GPT-4 access?
No, but if you get a mobile app called P-O-E, I might have mentioned on here before.
You can
different AIs.
You
get one query a day.
Yep.
For GPT-4. Where am I? I'd get it on my phone, except my phone is plugged in recording this. Can I get in? No, I can't get in, damn it. No.
So tell us your story then.
No, I'm going to do this way up. Let me have a look. Because I've got the text. Oh, damn it, I can't do it. You know what, I can. Give me 1 second. This will be fun. Okay, so this is what I did, right? I have one query a day for GPT-4, and you can pay for it. It's fuck all. It's like $20 a month. But I wanted to see what it would do. So I asked the question yesterday, and then I asked a follow-up today. But because I only get one a day, it's got no context. But normally you could be like, if you weren't happy with the result, you just get it to tweak the result. So I said, please create me a 50 hectoliter recipe for a grapefruit hazy IPA for a popular Australian craft brewery, Black Hops Brewing, to brew. Also include a possible name suggestion and idea for design elements to include in the label. All right, I'm gonna paste this in here for you, and you can tell me what you think.
Are you gonna share your screen?
No, I'll just paste in the show notes because it's on my phone.
What it said.
Yeah.
What it said. Oh, you're gonna post it.
Bottom of the show notes. Have a look at that.
Okay, what do we got? 50 hectoliters, 4,700 kilos of pale malt, 400 kilos of wheat, 300 kilos of flaked oats, 200 kilos of Munich, 100 kilos of Carapils. Hops are 4 kilos of Citra first word hops, 4 kilos of Amarillo, Whirlpool. 4 kilos of Simcoe, Whirlpools. Got there. It's not a lot of Whirlpool hops, eh? In fact, that's less than 2 grams a litre. Mind you, this sounds like a hazy IPA, so it's going to be very low bitterness.
Yeah, grapefruit.
8 kilos of Citra dry hop, 8 kilos Amarillo, 8 kilos Simcoe, which again is only like 3 or 4 grams per litre. London Ale 3 yeast. Targeted water profile with a chloride to sulfate ratio of 2:1 for a soft, juicy mouthfeel. Sexy. 20 kilos of grapefruit puree, secondary fermentation. Mash 68 degrees, 60 minutes. Mash out 76 degrees, 10 minutes. Sparge 76 degrees. To collect 112 hectoliters of wort for a 50 hectoliter batch. How fucking inefficient is that brewery? Jeez. Boil wort 60 minutes. Citra first for flame out. Whirlpool. Chill wort to 19. Aerate wort. Pitch yeast. Add grapefruit puree. Allow fermentation to go 3-5 days. Add dry hops. Cold crash 2 degrees to help clarify the beer. Drop out yeast and hop particles. Package the beer in kegs, bottles, cans, and carbonate to a CO2 volume of 2.4. Enjoy your refreshing and hazy grapefruit hazy XPA Sunset Haze. Oh, that's what I call it, Sunset Haze.
It's come up with a name as well.
You can't do that because Revel did a beer called Sunset Haze.
Okay.
So that's verboten.
Well, okay, fine. Except one thing it says is it says my internet. So when they released this thing, they were careful with it, right? So they don't give it access to the internet until they built this plugin things 2 days ago.
Mm.
But the access to the current knowledge source ran out, I think, in November 2021. Yep. So they basically say, because I said, give me an idea for a beer, just a random idea for a modern beer that is popular at the moment. And it'll come back to you and it'll say, well, my internet access was cut off at this time, but around that time, this was an idea. And it didn't say grapefruit hazy, but it said like a NEPA or something.
Yep.
So, okay, if it's chosen a name that is already taken,
well, it doesn't know.
It could know, or maybe it doesn't know.
It could know. The plugin thing for ChatGPT is phenomenal.
It's pretty crazy. But look at even this design thing. Look at it. I mean, like honestly, like take this beer can, name suggestion Sunset Haze, design elements, vibrant sunset colors, yellow, orange, pink.
Yeah, I can't see that. It's not in the thing.
I mean, it's not like.
Oh, I can see at the top. Design elements. Yeah, fair enough.
It's not replacing a whole job or multiple jobs, but it's doing some fucking work here, isn't it?
Yes.
Tell me, what do you think? Reading that.
I think it's interesting, but it's basically come up with it's done what a lot of brewers who are starting out do and go and look at homebrew websites.
Okay.
There's not a lot of, like I look at this and there's not, excluding the design thing, but the beer recipe itself doesn't really show a sense of creativity.
Okay.
It's copied. It's copied other. It's very similar to when you look at Mid-Journey and that sort of thing. What it does is it's very good at taking inspiration from others and going and creating something that's very similar, but it hasn't actually created anything new.
So would you say? But here's the thing: like, how much creating something new is actually happening? Like, would you say this
in beer brewing?
Just generally in jobs.
Yeah, like it's let's keep it at.
I asked that question.
No, I agree.
Zero. I know.
Let's keep it at beer and beer recipes and stuff like that. Like, could you ask? So this is the thing that I would do as a prompt for GPT-4 is I would say to it, "Hey, this is pretty good, but it's pretty much something that you can already get. Could you think of a new style of beer that fuses say this style of beer with another well-known style of beer in a way that accentuates hop character to make a hoppy beer.
Okay. Look, I'm
Then
going to
see
write
what
this
it
down.
does.
I'll do it because I only have one prompt a day, so I'll have it tomorrow. Say that again.
Just say to it, look, this is a great recipe for a hazy XPA, but I want to create a new style of beer. One that's still hoppy, but integrates one other style from that already exists in such a way that I'm still going to get a hoppy beer.
Okay.
Taking in elements that uses a yeast strain that does biotransformation, that sort of thing. What do you got? I love the fact that you can do this. This is so good. I mean,
It's good.
I was on ChatGPT this afternoon, doing SOPs and stuff like that, and you know,
but that was more my question. Like my question is not like this is immediately going to make every worker in the beer industry redundant. But my question is to you, like,
no,
if you look at something like that, do you think that's doing what percentage of the work of recipe creation do you think that could potentially do as it currently stands? Like, is it zero? Is it?
Oh, no. All brewers, when they want to come up with a new beer idea, take inspiration from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they go look up beer recipes and all that sort of stuff. And this is what GPT-4 has done. Right? It's replicated what a lot of brewers do. And so what it hasn't done is it hasn't.
So even on that, at the very, very basic level, it's saved the amount of time it takes to get that information. Like, it's done it instantly.
Absolutely, yes, 100%.
So at least that amount of time has been saved.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is what?
Yes.
I don't know. How long does it take to...
I would take, if I did this, I would take this recipe that it wrote and I would take some of my knowledge about beer. Now, so for example, does it say what the starting gravity and the finishing gravity of the beer? This is a really interesting thing. It actually hasn't given you any specs about the gravity, the OG and the FG of the beer.
You know what we should do? We should
At all.
We should start a Patreon and get to 12 to all put in. What's 20 divided by 12? Bring up 20 divided by 12.
1.2.
$1.20 or whatever. Is it 1.2? That'd be perfect.
Yeah, probably.
And then we can pay for GPT-4.
Yeah.
And then we can just do these experiments.
Yeah, it hasn't given you an OG or an FG here as well, which is really interesting.
I'd be willing to bet that if you asked it for it, it would give it to you.
For sure. But I can absolutely tell you that if you're going to collect 112 hectoliters of wort and you're only going to put 8 kilos of Whirlpool hops in, that's not enough hops.
Yep.
And so that's the things that it can't do. Is there's still sort of the skill of the brewer there to sort of go, yeah, nah, it's not really.
Well, you know the way they built this is with a lot of like human learning, like obviously not brewers, but like they kind of built it in a way where they would plug stuff into it and it would give a response back, and they would employ a bunch of people to sit there in an office and be
if I got this, I would continue to ask it questions. Go, pretty good, but you know, in my knowledge, you know, to do a beer, you haven't mentioned original gravity and final gravity, and would go and add that in, right?
Yeah.
And then I would cool.
And then it probably learns from that, knowing.
Yeah, of course.
Hasn't got.
And then I would say to it, well, you know, okay, you put OG and FG in, and in my experience, you know, 8 kilos of Whirlpool hops probably isn't going to give you the hop intensity that you want. You would want to target, you know, 4 to 6 grams per liter in the Whirlpool. Give me that, and it would just do the calculation, and that's fine, and tweak it for you. And then I would say, and then I would do all the other tweaks and ask it all the questions to change it. And then I would say, give me a beer XML file.
Oh yeah.
So I can import it into Beersmith. That would be fucking cool.
It would
so beer XML is a file format
for
beer recipes. So I would say, give me a beer XML file. So I could import it in Beersmith. Let's see what happens then. I reckon it'd do it too.
Speaking of XML, I think that's a great idea. Apparently we've both coded a CMS in ASP, and I didn't think we'd said enough acronyms, so I just said 3 in one sentence.
So what's a CMS?
Content management system.
Yeah, I did that.
You did that?
Yeah.
We'll go on.
Ran that business for about 4 or 5 years.
When was this?
2000 through to probably about 2005 or so. Actually, no, I ran it to it was all the time I was living in Perth.
What's the
But
business?
yes, it was called Envivo CMS.
Oh, nice.
And maybe the Wayback Machine might be able to show us.
Definitely. That's how I find all my old blog posts, because they've all been deleted. I just get them from there.
Have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Enter URL or quick.
So for anyone listening to this podcast, hoping to be conversations about beer.
It's got it. Do I go to 2005, 2006? God, this is just bringing back some fucking memories here.
So we're talking about this because so wait, why are we talking about this? Give us some context in case people, because I'm worried that people tune into this show and then like,
okay, so what happened was, holy shit. What happened is this is amazing. I have to show you this. This is so fucking cool.
Share your screen. Wait, I need to piss. I mean,
and so yeah, should we do that first? You pause,
definitely
have a wee, and we'll come back to it.
Okay. Sorry, that took a little bit longer than I was hoping. Can you send me the number of your doctor?
Do you want to get your balls ultrasounded?
Too soon for testicular cancer jokes? Okay. Right, go, Hendo. Go on with the story.
Testicular cancer, you fucking peanut. Have a look at this, man. This is amazing. This is so cool. Let me share my screen. So the history of this, right, is I was a tour guide in Europe in 1999 and 2000, okay, in Europe, and I worked for a company called Bus About.
This is amazing. This is an old.
It's pretty slick, isn't it? Yeah.
A lot of very big curves.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we did back then.
Is that what the doctor said to you when you got examined? Sorry. Okay.
A lot of big curves. Can we just drop that?
Sorry. Is that what he said to you?
Okay. So what happened, right, was I worked for this tour company, and then when I finished being a tour guide and being on the road and that sort of thing, they were redoing their website, and they had a marketing company based out of Sydney and stuff like that I worked with, and they were graphic design, building websites and stuff like that, and they needed a content management system, and I wrote one for Bus About, and then ultimately what happened was I started working with them, and they said, "Oh, this is really good. Can we use this for other clients?" And I went, "Yeah, sure, no worries." So this is actually written in ASP, which stands for Active Server Pages. It's Microsoft technology. Yeah. So when I used to work in IT, I actually was a Microsoft systems engineer. I've got my Microsoft certified system engineer certification and that sort of thing. And I decided I was going to write software. And fuck, I wouldn't do this shit anymore. But this is absolutely amazing. So basically, this is how websites looked back in the day. And yep. I had how much was it? Let's find out how much it was. Pricing and licensing. Look at all these links.
So when and how did you learn to code?
My undergraduate degree was in coding, mate.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so I didn't have I just fell into infrastructure engineering, like Active Directory and stuff like that, because and Microsoft Exchange, like so corporate infrastructure is kind of where I did most of my work, but I always knew how to code. And part of what you did was you wrote a lot of VB script. Yeah. And ASP is predominantly Visual Basic script. And so when this sort of happened, I went, oh, this is pretty good. I'm going to do it. So anyway, let's have a look. It was $285 or $428 a full source code. I priced it in USD. Do you know how hard it was to sell stuff in 2000?
I do. This is before
2005?
SaaS. It was like you buy something once and then you figure out how to make a business.
That was
out.
it. And it was such a fucking unsustainable business,
Mhm.
you know? and so it was really difficult to sell stuff. But even taking credit cards, man, I got ripped off so much with chargebacks because people would steal credit card information. It was the fucking Wild West.
We can thank Elon for solving that problem, along with many
Well,
others.
PayPal really solved it, but
Exactly.
PayPal wasn't even a thing here. So and so basically, I used to have 2 different versions and all that sort of stuff, and that was really interesting. Look at all these fucking menu options. These drop down menus. They still
massively
work.
off track on this episode. But anyway,
Who are the customers? Let's find out. No, let's find out who the customers were. Who ran it? I know who did run it. Is that Buckingham Palace used to run this software. I'm not fucking joking.
Jesus.
Look at that. Oh, look at that. You know, Alfa Romeo used to run it. Kia
Hamilton
ran it. Citroen.
Island Weddings.
Island Weddings.
Let's go.
Compass Group.
Compass,
police
like
in the UK.
airline? No.
Yeah, the UK police recruiting fucking website. Bustabout ran it. There was the Buckingham Palace. Yeah, Buckingham Palace Royal Collection ran it for a while, and yeah, they got hacked. And because the shit thing was right.
That was going to be my question, because the reason this came up was because you saw that on one of my posts that I did, I mentioned that my first business was creating websites, and I created an ASP CMS. And you're like, I did that too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to share my screen, because all I've been thinking about ever since I did that is I fucking hope they've replaced that website, because this was like a real company. And I knew nothing about security. Like, it's completely insecure. Like, all kinds of bad shit could have happened.
The amount of times I had client websites get hacked with just SQL injection. It was fucking... There was no, like, APIs to do all that sort of authentication stuff. You wrote it yourself.
The game has changed now. Like, building this app I'm building, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just fire up some of the old tools and see what I can figure out myself.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
No.
Fuck that.
Can't even think about it.
It's so different now.
So, you know.
Anyway, this is a beer podcast, so let's...
Yeah, sorry. It's a little bit of Hendo history there. A little bit of Hendo and Dan history there.
More Hendo history than Dan history, but that's okay. All right. Should we get into the 12 questions?
Go on then.
So every week we ask the Facebook group questions, and they get involved in the process. If you're not looking at it. What are you looking at? I can see you looking.
Oh, God. I'm looking at the... go for the 12 questions.
Look at the questions. That's part of the deal.
Okay, we'll just ask the fucking question then.
I will, but we've got to tell people, if you're listening to the podcast...
if it's your first time... Yeah, exactly. If it's your first time listening to the podcast, well, you should join the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/Boston the Brewer. And before every show, Dan puts a post there on a Wednesday afternoon. It says, if you've got 12 questions, comment and ask a question. Now, you need to make sure that you use the right punctuation.
Yeah.
And grammar.
It helps.
Otherwise, you get critique for it. We'll still answer your fucking question.
We will. And the right punctuation is question : capital
space
question with a question mark at the end, and that's it.
That's right.
It's not. We're not looking for much.
Okay.
All right. So Adam Shell, I think it's the scooter one.
Which one?
Scooter one?
Which Adam Shell?
That one. Not that one.
Oh, Scooter Adam Shell. Oh, you bastard.
I'm sorry. Fuck. Sorry. Sorry, Adam Shell. Adam Shell is like probably the top 4 of the 12. The top quartile, the top 3?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
what's he got to say for himself this week?
All right. Question : capital, can a rebrand damage a brand ?
Yes. Ask Mazen.
Oh, wow. Okay. Go on.
Yeah. Ask Mazen with his fucking pinstripe cans of Hawkers.
Oh, do they ditch those?
Yeah, of course, because people fucking hated them.
Yeah, they were weird, weren't they?
Yeah, remember they had the Hawker thing with the cart, the man in the cart and that sort of thing when they first started?
I do remember.
And then they rebrand to the Hawkers cans, which had the dual color, and there was pinstripes, and people hated the fucking pinstripes. So abso-fucking-lutely. Yes, it didn't destroy the brand.
No.
But it certainly, they only lasted 6 months, and then it got rid of it.
It's
Has
very
actually
fucking
impacted-
expensive too. You
It
want to
impacted sales.
rebranding
Fucking
is
oath.
extremely expensive.
Very time consuming, very expensive.
Yeah. Be careful with your brand. It's fucking gold. All right, question 2, Colin. How are we getting the Adam beer across the line? Well, that's a good one.
Well, neither of us have a brewery.
No, neither of us have a brewery, and I mean, I'm not going to be much help, but I also was not much help last time, so can't add a lot of value. How about a TAFE challenge for the students?
Well, we could ask a friendly brewery who's in the 12.
Ooh, there's an idea.
Right?
We got who we got? We got plenty. We got Hiker.
Well, we got Adam
Magic.
Shell, we got a Hiker,
Mhm.
Future Magic. Get Mazin to do it. Mazin will tell us to get fucked.
Sea Legs. We got Mazin. Yeah, Mazin didn't bring him back last time. I feel bad, but
Ah, fuck it.
so we got
If you're a brewery
Fortitude.
and you're in
We got
you're
plenty-
one of the
plenty in the
12, yeah, then reach out to us if you would like to consider brewing the next Boston the Brewer beer, which will be an Adam beer.
Yeah, and we should say a couple of things. One, we choose weird styles that no one wants to buy.
Or drink.
2, last time we did this, we sold out very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to consider.
So
those
we're
things.
dead wrong. We're dead wrong.
We're dead wrong, and we've got the support of AI for the name, the design, the description, the recipe.
Not sure how I feel
And
about
they're
that.
shaking his head. All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sell this.
Really?
God damn it. All right. All right. Luke Cooper, question. Who will buy at least the G-Bung Green Beacon facility? That's a good question.
Well, that's actually a really good question.
I've got a good idea. How about one of the majors buys it, takes it over, and then just shuts it down again in a couple of years? That'd be
So
sick.
it's only going to be Lion, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get Mazin to buy it and shut it down.
What about ALM? They buy stuff. They could buy it.
That's actually a really good question. I don't know. I don't know what would happen to all of the plant and equipment. They would vacate the site, but I think the plant and
Well,
equipment
who
might go up
took
for
over the
sale.
Byron Bay Brewery that's you see on all the billboards all around the place?
I actually think that it wouldn't surprise me in the least that Asahi, being Asahi, would have depreciated everything. So the accountants would have gone, all this plant and equipment pretty much worth nothing. It's been written off and
It's 10 years old.
depreciated.
Oh, it's not 10 years old, is it? How was it? Like 7?
Nah, but it's all been
6, 7 years old?
depreciated and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they would just go scrap it.
I think that is a good point. It could be a silver lining, couldn't it?
What Asahi would not want and what it absolutely wouldn't want is they would not want to sell that equipment to a potential competitor. And they see all craft brewers as competitors.
That's not a competitor.
Absolutely.
Though. It's a pretty small brewery.
To them, they are. Everything's market share, mate.
It's a small brewery, though. It's not a big brewery.
Yep, but it's still market share. They battle it out for every single drop of market share, mate. Every litre.
Let's just hope. What we do an over-under on that? I'm not predicting that, though, but that would be nice. It would be nice. It would be a nice outcome to have a site that's a production brewery for someone to upgrade into.
I'm pretty sure that what would happen is what wouldn't get repurposed would get scrapped.
I mean, none of it's going to get repurposed, surely. They're not brewing
within the group, within the Asahi
50
group.
hex batches of. Oh, true. Yeah, brew pub somewhere, or that'd be a shame. But I like the idea. I think that's fun. Right, Luke Cooper.
Again.
Question, Colin. Who will be the highest finishing Australian in F1, F2, and F3 this weekend? I don't know the other categories.
Well,
but,
Jack Doohan is in F2.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
I don't know who's in F3 though. That's the really good thing about this weekend that I'm pretty excited about as well, because I actually really like F2.
You get to see it,
and it wasn't in Melbourne last year.
Oh, nice. So people might be more excited about
actually
Jack Doohan than anyone in the F1.
Oscar Piastri, yeah.
Yeah, Piastri's awesome, but McLaren's just fucked.
Pants.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So the F2 is I haven't watched a lot of F3, but I watched a bit of F2, And I don't know if you know the difference in the technical specs of the cars.
I don't know.
So the Formula One is a hybrid engine with a 1.6 liter V6.
I knew that part.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And so F2 is actually a 3.6 liter V6, not hybrid.
So it's better.
all petrol.
It's like the old
all
F1.
petrol. Well, but it's also single manufacturer. The cars are identical.
Cars are identical.
The cars are identical. The chassis are identical.
Engines not.
Engines are identical.
And okay. Oh,
Yeah, 100% of the car is identical.
Wow.
And so that's what makes and so therefore F2 it comes down to the driver.
I have watched a couple of races. It's fucking crazy.
It's fucking great to watch. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is cool.
And so I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great.
Nice. So who's going to be the Aussie hero of the Melbourne GP doing?
Jack Doohan.
All right. I'll accept that answer. All right. Question, Luke Cooper. If I could ask him. Our questions is always Adam Shell, Luke Cooper, and Louis G, and that's it, pretty much.
We need to limit Luke to 12 questions a week.
I think there's a top quartile of the 12, and then there's just no one else, pretty much.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Maybe
we should start a Twitter.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're doing the content thing again, mate. So knock yourself.
Well, we started an Instagram, and we've followed. How many people we've followed so far? Because we've got a lot.
We follow Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Oh, how many follow us?
No. How many people have we followed? Because we're getting a lot of man.
One
likes and yeah.
Let's have a look here.
You refuse to let me fucking follow anyone except for Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Do you know what this feed looks like? It's fucked up. I go on there occasionally.
It's
fucking weird.
It's the shittest feed ever. Do you want? I just saw the dumbest thing. This guy face planted on a fucking.
Yeah, that's the kind of weird shit he puts on there.
Oh well, we've got 88 followers. That's so not right.
Yeah, it is. I've been watching that. People follow us. I'm like, I want to follow them back, but I can't because of the rule that you put in place.
Okay. Do you want me to change the rule?
No, I kind of enjoy it.
Makes it easy, doesn't it? Who cares? We
had
a story.
Right,
I posted my story this week.
Advice, I don't know.
That's the dumbest thing. Like, imagine your whole feed being Snoop Dogg.
Well, I know what that's like.
That's us.
All right, Luke Cooper. What should we expect flying with Hendo's favorite airline alliance this week?
Oh, you flying with Alliance? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, Coop. What should I expect?
I would expect being pushed back from the gate, engine starting up, and driving back to the fucking gate again, and then the pilot refusing to fly the aircraft because that's what happened to me last week.
Okay. Well,
did I tell you that last week?
I saw it. Yep.
Fuck that.
Don't fly anywhere. Okay, that's my advice. No,
you gotta if you're gonna just live your life, man. Live your life. If you're gonna go, you're gonna go.
All right. Soufflet launches takeover bid for United Malt Group. And
who?
Thoughts.
Who?
I can't say that word. I don't know what's happening right here.
Soufflet.
Souffle? I don't know.
Souffle?
Souffles?
Can you post a link, please, so I can have a look at it? Sounds dumb.
Where's the oh my god, I feel like such a fucking boomer. Where's this fucking chat thing? There we go. There it is. It was missing. There we go. There's your link. Louis G wants your thoughts on that.
Grain Central.
France's souffle. It's got to be souffle, right? It's SOUFFLET.
Oh shit! This is serious.
Well, it's fourth largest malt stud United Malt Group.
Wow. Okay.
If successful, the bid would create the world's largest malt stud.
Yeah. Hang on. UMG was United Malt Group was a result of the demerger by Grain Corp, which is Barrett Burston in 2020, and its board. So, this is huge. In Australia, UMG owns Barrett Burston Malting. and is a leading supplier of malt to industrial and craft brewers with malt houses in Pinkenba and Geelong and Welshpool in Victoria. Oh, sorry, West Australia.
Oh,
Whoa, this is
nice.
massive. And United Malt Group owns Cry Malt
Yeah, right.
as well.
So,
Canada Malt,
is it
Canada
Souffle?
Malting, and Great Western Malting.
What's the name of the company that's taken over?
Souffle.
So you can't even say it either. So.
No, it's because there's two Fs. You got to say the F longer. So it's Souffle.
Okay.
This is huge. Holy shit, Luigi. How does he come up with this shit?
I don't know. Who the fuck is this guy?
Man, he goes all over the place.
He's everywhere.
We don't even know what he does.
He's like Neo from the Matrix.
And he bought a car. He bought an Alfa Romeo.
Oh my God. He randomly buys a fucking Alfa Romeo. I thought it was a GTV, but I don't know them that well, but I knew that. I think
it was a GTV, yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's big news. That is big, big news. He does something with grain. I mean, how does someone actually find this shit?
How about this?
Where are we breaking this news? Because it's not on Brews News. It's not on Crafty Pint. There you go. So
you know who's breaking this?
Louis G breaks it. Fucking hell. Who needs fucking reporters? And we don't need to pay journalists. We've got fucking Louis G and the 12.
True.
This is amazing. That is huge if true, which I think is true because it's like
it's March 29th. It's out today. graincentral.com. Do I need to be looking at this for my news sources? Because this is not on my list. But
it should be on your list.
It's a big one. Anyway, so thoughts is it's big news and that's about it.
Yeah. But not only for Australia, for Canada and the US as well, because Great Western, massive maltster in the US, massive maltster. Like the thing is, I'm a fan. I like Barrett Burston malt. I've always used it. It's good. It's reliable, reasonably priced. Yeah, fucking shit. Yeah, this is interesting. Louis G coming up with the facts.
And the comment
data.
Comment from fucking don't make your name so weird. What's Dougal? Dougal Grimley. Sounds like a character from Harry Potter. Sorry, our 12 just went to 11. His comment was support Voyager.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next question. Louis G. Surprise. Question: is 500 ml can the new trend? Did you see the Bolter have just come out with the 500?
Yes, I saw that. That's fucking sick. Sick.
How's that? It's happening.
I'd drink it.
I drank it.
I drank a Bolter XPA on the flight back from Alice Springs. Actually, in fact, I drank 4 of them. Actually,
dude, how good is it to get like a decent beer on a flight?
Yeah, it's fucking sick, and I enjoyed it. And if they did 500 ml cans on Virgin, even happier.
You'd send it. It'd be good because you wouldn't have to wait around it's a long process to wait around for the beers and whatnot.
I fly the occasional fucking business class, and they come up before they do the safety talk and that sort of thing, and they say, would you like a water, or would you like a sparkling wine, or would you like a orange juice? And I'll go, no, fuck off, give me a 500 or fucking Bolter XPA, thanks.
Oh, I didn't even ever think about this. If they were going to serve like a 500 ml beer on a plane, you could bring a Yeti along and you could just keep it cool, basically, just for because 500 ml, it gets warm a bit, doesn't it? But if you got the Yeti,
What's a Yeti?
Yeti cooler. It's like an insulated cooler.
Really?
Dude.
Never heard of it.
Fuck's sake. Really?
Never heard of it.
Really?
I'm not winding up. What is it? Is it like got a cooling thing or something?
No, but it's just like it's an insulated cooler.
Like a stubby cooler?
No. Okay, next week I'll have the Yeti.
You bring your fucking Yeti. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
All right. Well, we'll do that next week. The Yeti and other stories that other people tell us to talk about because we don't do enough research.
Right, yeah.
All right. That's it, Hendo. We're done.
I'll share some stuff on my Instagram, and if I tag the boss and the brewer at the Grand Prix, the internet won't work at the Grand Prix. It didn't work last year.
But you do it and save it up, and then when you get back to the hotel, it'll probably share. And
Yeah.
so what are the rules here? Because we've both got access to it. I can reshare stuff,
Yes, of course you can.
but we
If I
can't
post,
follow anyone except for Snoop Dogg.
that sounds fair to me. If I tag Boss and the Brewer in one of my stories, you're more than welcome to reshare it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the field trip this week, which, you know, if you
Yes,
followed Boss
right.
and the Brewer on Instagram, you would have seen me going full meta. It was fucking me on a field trip on a ferry.
On a ferry. And if you don't know what this means,
running
then
late.
you're probably new to the show and you're wondering what the fuck you just listened to. Thank you for supporting us and listening to the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Join the Patreon so
Look
we
out
get our
for
$20 to pay for
That's it.
before.
Do we have a... Yeah.
No. we
See
don't.
you next week.
See you next week, mate. See ya. Love your work, mate. Cheers.